Same. I honestly can't stand overprotective parents. I mean, the kid literally has to do something that'll like drastic make them change their mind about certain things.
Uh, well, in the end, I did like the idea that the sheep were actually fish that sounded actually like sheep. That was a bit on the funny side, to be honest. This is very unexpected to hear a fish go meh.
The cute little fishy people.
Well, why is it that the name Giuseppe is sometimes used often in Italian stuff? I mean, seriously, man.
I honestly got confused. I called them sheep, but they're fish. But when I heard them say "ba," that sheep came to mind, not fish.
Well, in this case, I'm not really gonna complain. It did add a bit of humor in it, but hey, it's kind of funny that Giuseppe was a troublemaking fish, the black sheep of the flock.
Yeah. What was his name again? I forgot.
Giuseppe, I just said it like 3 times.
I'm sorry. Giuseppe, the cute little sheep fish.
Yeah, but yeah, Alberto is pretty much the one character I feel like is the wannabe know-it-all.
Yeah, he's a bit of a know-it-all. I mean, half the shit he was spewing out, it sounded like he was just making it up as he went along.
Yeah, pretty much in this case, it's like he's got nothing better to do, so he pretty much just decides to explore his surroundings, but doesn't exactly want to far off. Pretends to be an expert, tries to do what he feels is like gonna get him recognized, but in the end, let's face it. Oh yeah, Wolf Reaper. Hi, thanks for joining us in the chat, man.
Hi.
But yeah,
And hello, Luca. Oh, God, we have devil segments? Hi.
yeah. For those who don't know what's going on, we're pretty much just chatting about the movie Luca from Disney that we just recently just finished watching right now.
You know what? I really love the whoever designed the characters, especially Luca and Alberto. I really love the designs.
Yeah, they actually, I mean, even if they're considered sea monsters, they really don't give them the whole threatening appearance, which kind of makes people, guess, play with the message of who do we really see as monsters upon like first appearances. The whole don't judge a book by its cover sort of situation, you know?
Yep. I'm still gonna call them sea monkeys because to me they're not monsters. It's just stupid people that make them out to be monsters just because they don't understand them.
Yeah, but in the end, I mean, if they had a species, I guess we could call it by that. But what else are we gonna call them? I mean, we wouldn't be called monkeys ourselves either. So I guess we'll just stick with the generic. We'll just call them sea monsters just for the hell of it. But yeah. So far, I mean, the fact that they were so obsessed with Vespa is the one of the things I didn't expect. I mean, the idea of owning something that's going to get them around, it is an interesting concept to actually add in there only because of the fact that it adds that whole childlike wonder of what they would do with the Vespa.
What gets me is that yes, they get the Vespa, but it's the old crappy one, but they still love it. And spoiler alert, Alberto ends up selling it.
Don't say that yet. Jeez.
Out for a while. So
You have to at least give it a month before you give them the whole details of the big reveal.
oh well.
Why? Just just why? Anyways, so pretty much the fact that they were actually trying to make their own Vespa out of scraps. I kind of like the idea that he kept that Alberto was trying to get Luca to follow some of the slangs that he was coming up with. I mean, he just hears what he hears and practically gets them to pass on as something that he understands. And eventually start picking up on something that they go, "What's wrong with you, stupido?" And they don't even know what the hell that means. Kids, don't say that in public. Seriously, you'll get slapped or worse.
Oh,
Seriously.
you'll definitely get slapped if you say that without knowing the meaning. It's like going to Japan and just saying random Japanese words like arigato hitai, and that constitutes an automatic slap in the face.
Yeah, that's not the last thing you want to be called is a pervert. Not that's
Yeah.
something I want to do.
Learn your language before you actually speak it, children. That's lesson of 101 today.
Yeah. If you're ever gonna go to a foreign land, for the love of God, please learn a little bit of the things that you're gonna say because the last thing you want to do is insult someone or actually use slang that's outdated and make yourself look so lame.
The way he said the let's get over to the job. Those two old ladies.
Uh, they had to find out the deliciousness of ice cream through getting slapped by purses and having ice cream shoved up their heads. Not exactly the experience you want to get. Yeah, but I mean, like, come on, you don't really want to get some hair on you either.
Yeah.
Yeah, so uh, then I think the introduction of the villain or the antagonist, oh god, that kid, he may claim that he's 16, but let's face it, he looks like he's barely hitting puberty.
To me, he looked 30 or 40 years old.
He doesn't exactly look that old. I mean, I think they would have never let him join if he was able to fake his age. And he's that far.
I don't know. Maybe he might be in his early 20s. His line saying he was 16, but to me, he looked older than that.
Well, I mean, he still had whiskers. He looked like he was barely hitting puberty, even if he is a little on the older side. But I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah, right.
But
I
yeah,
didn't like his attitude. I'm just glad his two twirly henchmen. Another spoiler alert, they eventually did stick up for themselves.
yeah, but that doesn't exactly happen until like further later. They have to take a lot of abuse for them to actually finally speak up.
I'm honestly wondering, though, where in the hell are they getting these big, gigantic sandwiches from? They were just pulling them out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing in Italy. They are big on sandwiches. They're big on pasta, and of course, their espresso. Love their espresso.
Oh, when they brought that espresso.
Oh yeah, they all they had to do was literally stick their tongue in it once. Oh, that was actually kind of funny because I don't think espresso works that way, but hey, this is their first time.
They were like Sonic, gotta go fast.
Not even. They literally had to pump it.
Espresso for that.
Espresso is known to have a lot of caffeine, more than the basic cup of coffee.
Actually, you know what? I never had espresso.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you get them in Starbucks and sometimes in 7-Eleven and places like that where they serve coffee. You get them in shots though, to add them to your coffee, just in case you don't feel like you're gonna get enough.
Oh yeah, I used to get the frappuccinos or maybe the refreshers. Maybe next time because I never once had an espresso, like pure espresso.
To be honest, I actually never really got much of the shots before, but I'm still gonna consider getting them only because of the fact that I still gotta work early. Holy hell. I need my coffee. I need my shots.
Overall, I really like the what attracted me to it when I first saw the trailer was, like I said, the designs. I love their sea monkey designs. I love the colors. I even like the fact that the sea monkey people they live like a what do you call that? I want to say like a farmville life.
Yeah, actually, they do seem to have a life similar to a third world country because of the fact that they lack in technology. They practically harvest seaweed. They have Luca as a shepherd boy for the flock, and their basic stuff is pretty much just like basic entertainment that you have within a small village home. So it kind of makes sense that they would actually have a third world country sort of vibe to it, while the land already has technology like radios, TVs, and even telephones. Well, on the water, they don't even have that much. They live on what would be considered basic.
That's true. Kind of like farmville that farmville slash Amish way of living. Either way, I liked it. It was pretty cool. They were mentioning something about some sort of crab competition, but they didn't really elaborate on that.
Yeah, same thing with dolphin calls. Who the hell would want to do that?
I kind of wanted to see what the dolphins were like in the movie, but uh,
To be honest, they even made comment on it. Why is it that they sound like that? Why can't they just talk? Newsflash: they are land breathers. They breathe air. They don't have lungs like the amphibious ones. So of course they won't be able to talk.
I guess they don't realize that yet.
Well, not really. But in the end, let's see. How far? What was that one girl's name again?
Uh, the bully calls her well, but her name is Giselle.
Giselle, is it?
Yeah.
Hmm. Was it Giselle?
Or it was either Giselle or no wait. The bully called her Etta, so I think her name is Gita.
I really gotta look into that because let me just double check. Because honestly, I don't want to talk good about the movie and still sound like an absolute idiot.
Hey.
All right, let's see. Pretty much, it says that the characters. Well, there's Ercole, the bully, Luca, the main character, Alberto, the other main character, Julia.
Julia?
Yeah, her name is Julia.
Okay, so the G's silent?
Um, I think the I in her name is was Julia, Julia, pretty much. Whichever seems, I guess, appropriate because remember these are Italian names. But I guess we'll stick with Julia.
Yeah, that's easier for me. I, I don't know. I can't say it without. I actually liked her. She was a little ball of spitfire. She was awesome.
Yeah. By the way, if you don't want me to hear that echo on your side, how about you lower the volume while we just still use the microphone to be able to hear ourselves? You could hear the echo. Okay, so pretty much, I guess this one, once they actually hit land and start looking at their surroundings, I guess Hercule is the one that first introduces them and tries to assert himself as the top cheese. That's practically when we started disliking this little whiskered bastard.
Uh, he can sit and spit it. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, who wants a bully, especially one who acts so fancy pantsy and
Ugh.
treats his Vespa like his lady? And same thing with his scarf.
And with the wolf scar.
But yeah, it's not long later that we actually end up getting introduced to Julia, the redheaded girl who happens to be selling fish to her neighborhood people and pretty much trying to earn money into joining this one competition, this race to earn some prize money. It is through this that I think that the mission starts, pretty much for wanting to earn the Vespa, even though they don't know what the money is specifically for. I'm guessing they don't have currency where they are. I'm guessing they do the basic stuff like trade. So from there, they start already noticing that they could use their prize money for the Vespa, even though the Vespa that they choose is questionable. It's a piece of junk, okay? Uh, There's no best way to put it, okay? It's a piece of junk. It looks rusty. They're practically you're buying it for 900 or something. I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to go with that, but in the end, it's like, come on. Anyone who in the right state of mind would see that that thing's gonna need more than a little spit to actually make that thing shine. But when they already heard that the Hercule ended up buying his through the prize money, I'm I'm guessing you could believe that he's rich. He didn't have to just earn the money to get it. He had to most likely get it through other means. Regardless, when they realized that they got their dream vehicle only a prize money away, they decided to join forces with Julia to be able to actually win this competition, but it's going to take some practice that they are not used to. It was a three-course race where it involved swimming, eating, and riding a bike up and down a hill to the finish line, which already kind of gives them a little bit of an obstacle since they can't swim without exposing themselves when touching any kind of water. It seems that every time even the smallest moisture hits them, their scales actually seem to pop up.
It's like this one show. I remember mentioning before we did our live stream. I think it's called H2O. Um, let me look it up.
It's a show that's on Netflix, right?
I believe so.
I think my
It's Yeah, it's called H2O. Just add water. It's about three girls. Their names. Their names are Emma, Lucy, and Cleo. They found a some sort of cave in Australia. Like it's basically a hop, skip, a jump away. You can either swim there or take a boat. They find a cave there, which they later dubbed as the moon pool, and they just decided to take a swim in it. But they did so on when the full moon was hitting the moon pool, and that activated the moon pool's powers. So they basically just turned into mermaids. And just like with Luca and Alfredo, I'm sorry, Alberto and Alfredo, yeah, if they come in contact with water, they'll immediately turn into mermaids. That's basically what H2O is about.
yeah.
However, there are some differences. In H2O, it takes them a hell of a long time to turn back into a human because they got to dry properly. But with the movie Luca, all they got to do is just shake, and there you go. They're dry. They're able to switch back.
Yeah, surprisingly, they make it look so easy. I mean, all they gotta do is shake and wipe it off. Compared to us, it takes one hell of a time. Come on. They make this
Yeah.
just too easy. And yeah, Faye, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I have one more thing to say before we leave. I was kind of curious since all the sea monkeys are able to transform into humans, and obviously there's a lot of history between them and humans way back in days past. I kind of wanted more backstory, if you will.
Oh yeah, because they
Like
in
how did they just magically get the ability to change into humans, or was that like did that come to them naturally?
also the fact that the village in which they came, that they were going into, um, pretty much they seem to have a history with sea monsters. Makes us wonder, like, where does the story come from? Were they originally hostile towards humans, or were the humans hostile towards them? I mean, you kind of wonder, like, what's the past like when it comes to their involvement with one another? You don't exactly get any of that. All we know is that the sea monsters call humans land monsters. That gives us the impression that clearly, at some point, someone started something, and then it's kind of started from there, continued on, where people started pursuing them as simple monsters, while the sea ones are just simply try to live on their own. That is not surprising. I mean, humans aren't exactly the most well accepting. I can only imagine how it would be with aliens.
Welcome, aliens. I hopefully, hopefully we will all be getting along.
Hopefully.
Fun fact, there's actually a landing pad in Canada that really wants aliens to visit. Because that's just how friendly Canada is.
Okay, that I did not know. Where the hell did you hear that one?
Uber Fact Center. It's actually a real thing.
I kind of question that only because I never heard of it, but then again, I don't think I've been on that one or read it. So that's open for interpretation, I guess. Kind of. I don't know.
Either way, I love it. I recommend it for anybody that just loves people in general.
Okay, so I guess we could continue on talking about this, but let's face it, we're kind of spoiling it a little bit. So I don't want to keep saying much for those who haven't actually watched it. So I guess we'll just pretty much stop here and actually let people take a gander at it and give us their opinion on it. If anything, by all means, we recommend it. Totally worth watching. It's good for date. It's good for family. Keep the kids distracted, but it's actually kind of sweet. If anything, yeah, give it a shot. Watch it.
Yeah, but sorry for the spoiler alerts, everyone. So, for those who haven't seen it or after this live stream, you decide to tell somebody, just keep the spoiler.
Yeah. So in the meantime, I think we're just gonna call it here. So if anything, for those who joined us, thanks for watching. If anything, we appreciate the follows, we appreciate the likes, and of course, we appreciate your attention. So by all means,
Thank you for
take care,
joining.
everyone.